and Temple are 50 miles apart along Interstate 35. Bonnie drives from Austin to her daughter's house in Temple, averaging 60 miles per hour. Leaving the car with her daughter, Bonnie rode a bus back to Austin along the same route, an average 40 miles per hour on the return trip. What was the average speed for the round trip in miles per hour? So first the question said that Bonnie's at Austin. So we can draw a picture here. Where this is going to be Austin. And Bonnie starts the trip here. And then this is going to be Temple, where her daughter is. And then Bonnie drove to Austin and her daughter's house, averaging 60 miles per hour. So Bonnie went this way, averaging 60 miles per hour. And then it says leaving the car with her daughter, Bonnie rode a bus back to Austin along the same route and averaged 40 miles per hour. So Bonnie came back with a bus that averaged 40 miles per hour. And then this whole trip was 50 miles apart. So that whole distance was 50 miles. And then to find the average speed of the round trip in miles per hour, we can use a distance equals rate times time formula. So if we have a table here, we have this is where Bonnie is with the car, and the second one is Bonnie on the bus. And the rate at which Bonnie traveled at the car was 60 miles per hour. And then the way back on the bus was 40. And then for the time, we don't know the time, so we can write it as T1 and T2. And the distance is 50 miles for both trips. And then if we find the distance equals rate times time, we multiply the rate and time, which equals the distance. So we have 60 times T1 equals 50. And then 40 times T2 equals 50. So if we find T1, we get T1 equals 50 over 60, which is 5/6 of an hour. T2 equals 50 over 40, which is 5/4 of an hour. So the times for both trips on the car and bus were 5/6 of an hour and 5/4 of an hour. So if we add them together to get the total time, we get 25 over 12th of an hour. So 25 over 12th of an hour was the total time it took for both trips from Austin to Temple and Temple to Austin back. And then since that's the time for the round trip, we can write the new formula, which is the rate times time equals the distance. And since the rate we found was x, we're trying to find the average speed on the return trip. So x times the time we found, which is this, equals the distance, which is 50 times 2, since 50 was on the way there and 50 on the way back. So it's a total of 100 miles. And then we have x equals 100 times 12 over 25. So 4 times 12 is 48. So x is 48, so the rate was 48 miles per hour on average for the round trip. So our answer is B.